Hey, what's up world? This is August C. Jones and welcome to another edition of CMJ World Vlogs. Now, before I get into the subject of this video, I just want to point out that the last two vlogs I put out had something wrong with it. It was an editing error and I don't know why it was, and it just got brought to my attention recently. The last video I was able to delete it and upload another version where the problem was fixed, but the other video got a lot of reviews, a lot of responses, so I didn't want to take it down and re-upload it, but I'm glad I did. I'm glad it was brought to my attention unintentionally. Really, no one said anything, but it was brought to my attention unintentionally, as well as the audio problem syncing up with the visuals. That was my fault. I am going to start literally checking my videos before I upload it. That way problems like that won't occur anymore, hopefully. So getting into everything that I wanted to talk about, so this thing came out that Blockbuster may be trying to come back, but we don't know to what capacity. So when you break it down, and you know the whole history of Blockbuster, it was the biggest major rental video place, and it ended up just going out of business just because it was too slow to keep up with the times. Had chances to get involved with Netflix as well as Redbox, and they just failed to adapt, and then they just kind of died out. And so it's kind of the question of, if Blockbuster came back, what capacity would it be in? And so I came over in my mind that they don't really have a lot of doors open for them. For one, a lot of us are moving out of the video rental stage, where we're not even going to Redbox. Redbox is slowly dying out. Major companies have started literally not making any more Blu-ray or DVD players just because everything is going into the digital age, streaming and everything else. And I'm gonna get into that because that's another reason. But no one is really buying DVDs like that. You still have people that's out there that love physical media and everything else, and it has its advantages, but that's not a very profitable business to get into right now. So the next thing would be streaming. So streaming essentially is an avenue for it to go down, because of the simple fact that it's not like it was before, when Netflix was just the dominant streaming app. You probably would have had other ones, you know, like HBO and Cinemax and stuff, just kind of like a branch off of the channel itself. But now you have major competition. Now people don't need Netflix. People have HBO Max or Disney Plus, Hulu, and other streaming services that you could just pull out your ass. So to get in that market, they would have to literally pump in a lot of money, because a lot of these streaming services, whether people want to believe it or not, they lose a lot of money in starting up. Within the first few 3 to 4 or 5 years, they lose a lot of money until they can start, you know, getting real profitable with subscriptions and everything else. So it will be billions of dollars being poured into a streaming service that's really kind of unproven. Even though Blockbuster is a popular IP, it's a well-known IP, how would it do as far as streaming? We already have big name companies coming out with their own streaming services. What is there for Blockbuster to do in the streaming service industry? They're too late for it. It's not like it was before. It's overflooded, oversaturated, to where people are literally paying the same amount or more in streaming services that they were paying with cable. So that wouldn't be a viable industry to go into. So it leaves, what else is for, you know, Blockbuster to do? What can they do? And I had one solution that they can do if they were to come back, and it has very little to do with, you know, video, physical media, and everything else. If you've ever been to a place like This Replay, where they buy and resell games, systems, movies, and stuff of that nature, a lot of physical media, it can be a place like that. Or if you're more familiar with FYE, where they don't do that, but they have a lot of niche stuff. They have a lot of theme stuff for anime movies and all that stuff, shows. They got t-shirts. They sell stuff there that you wouldn't normally get anywhere else. And I feel like they can do either or a combination of both, because then that way you can feed into the nostalgia of Blockbuster, maybe even reopen some of the old locations that they had, and basically just kind of do it like that on a smaller scale, or maybe have like big locations that have that, buy and resell old media that a lot of people may want, as well as sell stuff that you wouldn't be able to find anywhere else. And I feel like that would be a good way to come back. I'm not gonna say that it's gonna put them on a map, it's gonna make them $1 billion company again or anything like that. But if they want to succeed in a certain type of fashion and feed off of that nostalgia that I myself and like a lot of people like me that grew up on Blockbuster, going to whether it's renting video games or movies with the fam and everything else, that would be one of the best ways to do it, because of just the simple fact that people would just want to go up in there just because it's like, oh, it's like reliving your childhood. Plus, you get a lot of stuff that people still would buy, you know? And I feel like that's the only outlet, the only way that they can go, because streaming ain't gonna be the way, because they gonna fail miserably. And DVD sales are not happening. You know, everything is in the way of streaming. So come back as they were before is just not an option at all. It's not an option. It's not a financial viable option for the company, especially if they want to make money. So essentially, that's just my thoughts on it. And if they do come back in that fashion of what I recommended, I think that would probably dope. That would probably be dope. And I would love to see them thrive in that market. I mean, they would go up against FYE, but FYE isn't like huge. It is, I mean, I don't know how much they're worth or how much they make per year with, or how many locations they have, but they're not as big. Like, you probably might go on the street and probably find people that don't know what FYE is, unless they have been in their mall, or even if they know what it is, they probably haven't been inside the store. You know, a lot of that stuff maybe not, you know, it may not connect with them. They may not like the stuff that they sell in there, but I feel like that may be a good market to go in. I definitely would check it out. But yeah, those are my thoughts. This was a very short video. I'm trying to keep these as short as possible if I if I can. But in any case, thanks you guys for checking me out. And if you haven't liked it already, go ahead, give a like, subscribe if you're not, as well as hit the notification bell for more videos like this. And I will catch you guys on the next one. So peace out, stay safe.